sure why, but yeah, you were selected, and yeah, that's basically all. So we are here today at the Temple Shop, asking some questions about just what got you here today, and really that's it. So, how long have you been in the road racing community?
Not long, like super long. Uh, I joined in about 2014-ish, 15-ish. Uh, I raced for like a couple months in 2014. Actually picked up my first win, and then I was kind of off and on, maybe like I don't know, 5 races a year or something like that. It wasn't really something anything specific, just kind of whenever I felt like racing. Uh, that was like 2015. Then 2016 through 2019, I was full blown Roblox Monster Jam, and I was doing monster truck stuff. Uh, Ran a couple races in 2017 in my buddy's league, which was pretty fun. Actually, that league turned into an outlaw career league that I ended up hosting for a while. Went AWOL again in 2018 and 19. Actually didn't do too much Roblox wise, period, believe it or not. I didn't do a whole lot of ROMJ. I didn't do a whole lot of road racing. I just kind of was playing the game like any normal person would. Uh, I think it was late 2019, early 2020. I started racing outlaw carts at this track called Crap Raceway. Yes, it was crap. I will admit it now. It was owned by Fellow 04. He actually won the Power Rise Season 5 championship under think Fenton 15's hosting. I don't remember exactly who was hosting it at that point.
Oh,
Uh, Ran that for a while. Picked up 2 championships in the one season I ran there actually. Then I went and was introduced to the A chassis world where I ran some of these like I think they were like A chassis sprint cars and they were just non-collide. And at the time I had a lot of fun doing it. Now I wouldn't do it because I don't find it that much fun to go in circles and just face through each other.
yeah.
Uh, that was pretty fun. Started up my own outlaw cart deal around that time too. Then I was introduced to the Garrett Dirt Racing events deal with the micros. And
Hmm.
actually, you have Bo Krebs to thank for getting me into that deal. So showed up at the hustle in 2020, right when lockdown was starting. Actually, it was June 2020, and that was my first big win. The trophy's right over there in the corner of the case. So that was pretty huge. Just to kind of jump in and get a dub right away. I thought that was
Yeah.
really really cool. Uh,
Hmm.
from that point on, it just kind of became riff off wins, and then I got to where I am today, racing. You know, all the way up to like big NASCAR leagues, stuff like that. And so yeah, that's kind of how I got my start, and that's where I'm at now. So I've been doing it for a decent amount of time, but not so much like I did in the years 2020 and 2021.
So, what overall got you in 2014 to even think about joining this community?
Well, I'd already been on Roblox for a while. My first Roblox account was created in 2011, and I got terminated in early 2013. So made the account I'm on now. I think it was like June or July of 2013, and I had seen some road racing stuff, and I actually had a league for a while. And it wasn't a great league. There's like 3 drivers maybe, and we could never host races because one, I didn't know what Discord was. Two, they were in bigger leagues.
Yeah.
So had that, which was pretty fun. Then I got introduced to I don't even know what league it was. It was some truck league, and picked up my first win back in 2014 at the Daytona 250, which was 250 laps around Daytona with vision lag, which was a nightmare. So, yeah, I guess just kind of being around the community itself, seeing all the racing stuff going on, knowing that there was, communities out there that did it. I think that was what got me into doing it, and I kind of enjoyed myself. But it was crazy back then because when I did it, the league I ran, Discord wasn't a thing. They were hosting over Roblox, so I think it might have been a thing, but I wasn't on it. So it's pretty
Yeah.
funny just racing over Roblox. But nowadays I would never do that. But yeah, that's how I kind of got my start. So it's pretty cool.
Now, you told us how you got into it. You've explained what you did, but overall, what would your summary of your career so far be in road racing?
Um, I don't like to think of myself as like a great or a goat in this community, like even on dirt. Even though I've been called that, I wouldn't think myself as one because you know I definitely still lose for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
we look back at the Forest Cup last year. I think it was. It might have been 2 years ago
Hmm.
actually. I think it was Forest Cup in 2020 at Wonderland. Uh, I got beat. I got flat out beat, and you know I could say I'm probably up in the ranks where you get to the names and you recognize them and you know who is who, and
Yeah.
that guy's gonna be fast. We got to work a little bit harder to beat that guy, but I don't consider myself to be a like all-time great, and that's just because I haven't been doing it for long enough. If
Hmm.
I had been doing it for a little bit longer, maybe, but you know, it just I don't like one, I don't like judging myself. I like letting other people do the talking on how like what they think I am and how
Yeah.
they think what their opinions of me are. But
Hmm.
overall, I'd say I've done pretty well over the past 2 years that I've actually been going at it.
Yeah. So now you just said you let people judge, who you are, and you take that into consideration. But so many people, I mean, you join a series and everybody knows your name. Let's be real. What would if somebody came to you, somebody that was new to the community, and they said, "How do I do this?" What would you tell them?
Well, I would just say go out and try because, obviously it's going to be a learning curve for anyone who's ever done it. Unless you're one of those rare special talents like you see Rum Runner. His car's over up on
Yeah.
the wall over there. I mean, he jumped in randomly and he just started winning and riffing off wins. But usually you get the guys, like Lemon Bucket over there. You can see his car's right over my right shoulder.
Yep.
He didn't start winning right away. He struggled for a little bit and he just persisted. So that's what I usually tell people is if you just keep trying, eventually you'll pick it up and you'll get better as you go. So that's kind of my advice to them is just don't quit. Just keep after it and you'll end up winning a lot. And don't start out with jumping into the big leagues trying to beat a hot shot. Just start off small. Start off racing like little weekly series or stuff like that. But make sure you have a solid community around you and don't join anything that might end up, kind of just falling off the face of the earth.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my big advice for people when they get into this stuff.
Yeah. So you let me go back real quick. You say you're not a goat or you're not a legend to this community, but how about those two golden drillers?
That I feel like I don't know, that's more of a redemption story more than a like I don't know, more of a redemption story than just me flat out going out and winning it. Because you guys got to remember, I mean, I didn't get them on my first try. Last year, Tulsa Shootout, fifth annual, uh, got
Damien
sent to
Fenton.
the rear a lap down like early on. Came through the field and just wasn't able to make it happen. This year, I had a couple things go my way, and ended up starting on pole. And from that point on, it was just pull away. So if I had been considered like the greatest of all time or one of the greatest of all time, I would say that, I would have had them on my first try and there would be three instead of two sitting over there. But,
Mhm.
you know, I'm glad to say I have them and I think it's pretty cool that I've got them, but I don't like to call myself the best of the best, even though I could easily say I am and I have the stats to back it up. But for the sake of sportsmanship and not being a douchebag, I just don't do that.
Yeah.
I I don't want to. talk myself up and all this stuff and then make people think I'm an asshole. So, you know, it's more of just kind of a respect thing and sportsmanlike kind of deal.
Now, looking into the future of where you are right now, how do you see yourself for however long you feel like doing this for from now? Where do you see yourself going? What do you see yourself running? What do you see yourself? How do you see yourself leaving? All that.
I like your last point, the leaving kind of aspect. Um,
Hmm.
I feel like it's just whenever I decide I'm no longer doing it, that'll be when I go. I don't really have a set day or like to the minute when I feel like going. It's more of just when like I don't feel like doing this anymore and I just kind of log off for the last time and stuff like that. But if I had to say what I think I'd be doing, it probably won't be anything full time. Maybe some dirt races here and there, just the big shows pretty much because, working working so much and having not so much time. Uh in response to APK's question, I think I've already gone past my prime, at least on dirt. My prime was probably I don't know, man. I might still be in it, honestly, with you. I can't really think of a time where I've fallen off yet. So I think now I'm starting to reach the end of my prime. Uh, I just kind of think that ever since that first race out in Southern Illinois in the at the High Banks Hustle, when I just kind of like, I mean, everyone wrote that win off as a fluke, but then I immediately picked up another win, like big show win, during the California Speedway, picked up the championship. Granted, I never won a race during that whole week, but I still had enough points and walked away with the title. Um, and up to this point, I haven't really slowed down in regards to at least dirt. Uh, I've been making some ventures into the pavement, non-vision lag world, and I will admit I've had my stuff rocked. I'm actually starting to get ready to start going buggy racing. In the Castrol Trophy Truck Series, but it's the
Oh,
feeder series. It's Optima Batteries,
yeah,
uh, Pro Buggy Series. So
yeah.
I'll be in that pretty soon. Actually, I think this Thursday is my first time trying it. So you know,
If you don't mind me asking about more information on that, like what got you into that? Like,
well,
how do you venture out into these new styles of racing?
I'd known about it for a while, and I was in the series at one point before, but I never ran anything. I never really had any interest in running. So I just kind of left and forgot about it for a while. But I've known I think he's like one of the directors. Uh
Oh,
yeah, I've known Cole for a long time through actually RoMJ, Roblox Monster Jam, because he's not a owner. I don't think he owns it, but he might be one of
nah,
the like
he's one of the admins. Yeah, he
yeah.
is. He's my team owner, and then
But yeah, I've known Cole for a long, long time actually. I've actually known a lot of people in this community for a long time through OMJ, like LaFenton 15. I met a while back in the monster truck community. So, and then Cole's always he DM'd me at one point about it, asking if I don't even remember what he asked. So it was something about driving a truck or something like that. I can't remember, but yeah, I think he actually asked if I wanted to run for him or something like that in the buggy series. But
yeah,
no, I was just literally I think it was yesterday. Might have been yesterday or today. Actually, no, it was yesterday. Uh I was just kind of looking through the Garrett server and I saw an ad for it and I was like, "Hey, I remember that?" And go check it out. So I checked it out and talked to Cole. I ran some laps and now I'll be in a car or in a buggy, I should say. On Thursday, and I've actually got teammates with Bo and Lemon now, so I brought them along board. We're gonna go have some fun and go get smoked, I guess you could say, because that's not something we've ever done before, and it feels a lot different than anything we've ever done. We've done some practice, so yeah, I'm excited for it, but we'll just have to see how it goes.
now let's venture out here for a minute. Like when you join a new Discord server or a new Roblox server or a new something involved with this community, how do you? What is your breakdown of am I going to run here or how do I run here or how? What is this like? What do you look for in communities?
One thing I like to look for is I look for organization in the server, and I look for dedicated race times. Like I'm running a league called Rourke right now, and the one negative I have about it is that the races aren't on specific days. It's just kind of whenever.
Hmm.
Uh, like today we ran the Daytona 500. Uh, and so I look for a little bit uh a little bit of organization. I try to see if I could find videos of the races. I'll see if I can find some background knowledge. And another thing I like to look for is I look at the community and see who I know. Uh, if I know a lot of people, I'll ask a bunch of them. If I don't know anyone, I'll just have to try it for myself. Or if I know the owner, I'll ask them. But like with CTTS, I had kind of like poked through the server a little bit. This is probably my best example of how of something like that.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of poking through the server, looking around, and I saw all the new stuff they do, all the information they have, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty established. So I knew from that
Hmm.
point, I was like, okay, yeah, this is something I'd like to do, considering it's pretty established, pretty organized, and I think it'd be something that I'd enjoy doing. Or like another example for Garrett's dirt racing events. If I came into that server now, obviously it was a little bit different back when I joined.
Yeah.
You know, if I saw all the old archives of all the lineups and the finishes and all that stuff, even when the micro league was running out of that server, if I saw the champions list, all that fun stuff, I would know, okay, these guys have been around for a while, they're pretty established, and they still have a lot of members, and they must have some decent racing. So that being said, uh, that's kind of like what I look for. I look for that organization. I look for that history, because if a league has been around for a long time and still can pull a solid number of drivers, they obviously doing something right, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing I look for is just organization and establishment.
All right. Well, I believe we. So I'm going to ask the two people that are arguing if they have any questions for you that they'd like asked. If so, just either raise y'all's hands or type it in general.
Let's do. I'm
Um,
actually curious. I want to know what you guys think. What
yeah.
you guys want to know about old Sipka here, about the washed up dirt racer.
What is I do want to know what is the story behind that the washed up dirt racer because we know you're not washed up.
So, okay, it's actually a real life story. It's not even related to Roblox. I just kind of carried it over. Uh I go to this karting place called GoPro Motorplex a lot with a bunch of my buddies. And there was we were there one time and I was like, "Man, I really want to change my racer name." And I wanted to change it to what I have it at VLK, which is another go-kart track I go to. It's in Charlotte. It's an awesome facility. Uh
Everybody knows about VOK racing.
yeah. Well, my name there is the Mooresville Missile, and that's been my racing nickname since I was like 8 years old. Well, I was like, man, I really want to change it. I should go change it to the Mooresville Missile. And my buddy said, tell you what, let's make a deal. If you finish top 5 in your next open race, because at the time I was racing the 500 outlaw carts,
Hmm.
it's like if you finish top 5, you change your name to that. If you don't, you have to change your name to something else. And I was like, okay, sweet. And he got to choose what name. Well, that just so happened to be the race that I ran out of talent on a restart and flipped the car over.
Yeah, I called it gift.
So my buddy goes, "All right, your name is the Washed Up Dirt Racer," and it stuck. And I was just like, "All right, I'll gladly put that on there because it was funny." So I that was my name there, and I carried it over to Roblox, and that's kind of what I'm known as. And actually, I didn't have that name on Roblox until I went and ran a midget race at the in the Rowdy Energy Midget Series. I think it was at Arizona. Uh, I kind of like sucked ish a little in qualifying, and I was like, actually, it might have been before qualif. No, it was qualifying, and I was like, screw this, I'm changing my name. And I changed my name to the Washed Up Dirt Racer, and there was no it was just Washed Up Dirt Racer.
Yep.
I was like, all right, this is funny, it matches. So The funny thing is I ended up winning that race, so, you know, it's kinda
No,
like
so I
a
lost him
little
after all.
yeah. Yeah, that's kind of how that name came about, and my current name, Left Turn Lucas, that just kinda worked, and I
Yeah.
I just kinda left it like that.
All right. Well, we have 2 minutes. So I'll let you go early. I'm not seeing anyone with questions. APK, do you have any more? No. All right. Well, I believe that'll finish us for this episode of the SRS podcast with Lucas Sipka.
Well, thank you guys for having me.
Thank you.